Hi, my name is Larry Kirshner from the Darkness Haunted House, HauntWorld.com, and many other things. I'm actually standing in the darkness where we're renovating it for the 2011 Trans World Haunted House and Halloween Trade Show, which is going to be happening March 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th. For the last 2 seasons, the darkness has opened up for the trade show, for the haunt industry. We've only had one goal in mind, and that is to inspire, technology, inspire you to build your attraction bigger, to think bigger, basically to go over the top and do things that no one's ever done before. So you're probably thinking, after the last 2 years, why would I want to come back to the darkness again? They can't change that much stuff, can they? Well, that's where you would be wrong. We have totally renovated the darkness once again. And what I'm going to do in this video right here is I'm going to walk you around and show you some of the things that we're working on, and so you can get kind of an idea of the monumental effort that we put into renovating the darkness just for the haunted house industry. Our goal is to make this like an interactive educational experience, and to do that we can't just buy a couple animations and some props and repaint a room. That's not how we roll. We go all freaking out. We've got 3 attractions we're opening this year. We have the Darkness, we have Terror Visions, and we have a new haunted house that we opened here in St. Louis last year called the Lent Brewery Haunted House. The Lent Brewery Haunted House is 5 stories underground. It's in an old brewery built like in 1870 or something like that. It's built over a cave and cavern system because they wanted to ferment the beer, keep the beer cool, and all that other stuff. So it's actually built over a real cave system. The haunted house is down in those caverns. It's probably one of the most unique locations in the entire country. Okay? So that's going to be part of the tour. We have a behind-the-scenes tour, which is going to be on Thursday, March the 10th. Behind-the-scenes tour, you'll start at the darkness. You'll get to go through the darkness. You'll get to see all the changes. You can take pictures, video. You can just kind of walk around at your own pace. Our new actors room is going to be open, which we've expanded. You'll get to see Terror Visions, which we've totally renovated. We put all these animations, all this new artwork. We've done all these new things at Terror Visions. It's like really over the top. You'll get to see Lent Brewery, and that place really needs to be seen with all the lights on because it's so cool. Okay, and then on Friday, we're going to open the Lent Brewery up with actors, and you'll get to go through there with actors. And then on Saturday, the grand finale, you get to see the darkness with fog and lighting, with actors, and the whole shebang. So, now that I've explained all that to you, again, why should you come and see the Darkness Haunted House Tour again? Well, because this is by far the biggest, most endeavor that we've ever taken on. We're doing things here that we've never even tried to do. We've taken out literally 12 40-yard dumpster containers of trash out of this place, set scenes, whatever, and we have refurbished it. When you come to the darkness this year, you're going to be blown away. You're going to think you're inside Disney World. You're going to think you're inside Universal. So right now, here we go. I'm going to give you a little tour. Keep in mind that the whole attraction is about 60% done, but you're going to kind of get an idea of what's going on here. You ready for the tour? Here we go. This here is a kind of supposed to be like a cave, where the timbers are crashing down and then the floor is crashing down. So it would have been like a cave where it's being excavated. And right now you can see it's just all raw foam. There's multiple different kinds of foam in there. This is going to be what they call gunite. It's going to be sprayed with a concrete gun. Here we built this. Actually, we did this on a video which we're going to be selling at the Trans World Show. It's called How to Foam Carve Your Haunted House. And we show you how to do, pretty much all these foam techniques and whatnot. And that's going to be coming out. You kind of sort of come around the corner. You can see the kind of detail that we've put into everything. It's really cool. These bones, that'll actually be hard-coated right in place. We've busted them up, cracked them up. This is like a spider cave. And there's a spider. And I'm going to get Jim to kind of show you just by hand sort of what the spider does. It's got like 20 motions on it. It actually rolls out. Okay. It moves like every which way you can. The fangs move. Okay. And he actually puts his pinchers in this dude down here, and then he thrashes around. But this whole cave is going to be sprayed with gunite as well. And we're also going to do this really cool cobwebbing thing. And we're actually going to make on the video how to create your own, how to detail your haunted house part 2, which we had part 1 last year. We're going to make a part 2, and we're going to show you how we do some really cool cobwebs that I don't think anybody's ever tried before. But this whole thing will look like, you know, just like the movies. And these boulders are in here because we need something for the spider to look like he's crawling on top of the spider webs. So yeah, that's going to be done. This is all hand carved. Here again is another corridor. This will all be based out soon. It'll all be painted. This is what we call an actor, you know, or the scare box. The actor actually can run all the way around. Here's one of those impalers. And we came up with the kooky idea of making a throne for him. So, because he's always in a sitting position. And we're actually going to wrap it with bones. And there's John Ives. Hey, say hi, John.
What's up?
Hey, John, talk about the dino bone that you carved up there. The dino, you know, Dino from the Flintstones. Hey, Jim, show him the other dino bone.
No, don't show him that one. I made a mistake. But that one's good.
Okay, well, anyway, we bought all these bones from the skeleton store, like all these bones, and we're going to cover this thing in bones. And then the impaler, he'll actually stand up and look like he's lifting off his throne. Where's the dino bone? There's the dino bone. It looks like a big bone from Operation, the game. So anyway, that's part of the room. Now let's move on to another part. Okay, one of the things that we're doing here in the darkness that is like wild and crazy. I don't even know why in the world that we came up with this idea. But a few years ago, we did this attraction in Wisconsin. We did this blacklight mini golf with real sharks and moray eels and stingray petting things and all this. Well, we have this friend in Branson, and he has this wild animal place. So he's going to provide all the animals. So we're building this queue line. And it's not done, of course. This is actually going to be a python tank, and that's where the water is going to be for the python. There's going to be a 20-foot python in there. And, you know, of course, we want it to be all themed and displayed and so on and so forth. Then this over here is going to house a cobra. And then we put some of our monkeys, you know, our animated monkeys in here. These little spots here are unique aquariums, and they're going to have, you know, dangerous animals in them. And then we put this really cool ledge in here. These skulls, believe it or not, I mean, they're real cheap. They're like $10 skulls, and they look kind of corny now. But the reality is, once they get hard-coated over, they'll look old. And then when we paint them, they'll look like they belong there. And then look, this is supposed to be like a crumbled section of the wall. Another animal goes here. Another animal goes over here. But I want to show you this over here. This is going to be really cool. On this side, we have another animal enclosure here. But this is the wild one. Okay, that's a waterfall. And this is actually going to be real piranha. There's going to be like 10 piranhas swimming around in there. So when you come to the Darkness Tour this year, when you're in the queue line, from soup to nuts, it's going to look just like a themed environment, like you know, something out of Animal Kingdom, or some kind of really wild, you know, ruins with real animals, a 20-foot python, piranhas, the whole shebang. All right, now I'm going to take you to a couple other rooms. You ready to go? Here we go. Now we're actually in the queue line here, and as you can see, the queue line was always really, really detailed. But now, like I told you before, the whole queue line's detailed. Here's some spiders that are going to go in our spider room. You know, these are, you know, multi-motion spiders. We got 3 of them. They're going to go in our big giant spider room. I mean, we have gone all out for this tour. Now, let's go check out the gator room. This is actually really cool. Right now, it's still all raw foam. And it's actually going to be really cool. That's going to be a big waterfall. That's a big Rainforest Cafe style alligator who was renovated, and he's multi-motion. And then we got a big alligator that's going to come out of there that was made by Unit 70. And it's actually really neat. It's going to come through a waterfall, and that's what this is here. That's going to catch the water. And then this whole thing is going to be water here, again with the water coming down there. Then here, this is all being gunite, sprayed with concrete. See, there's the drawings. They're always pinned on the walls. And there's actually going to be actors on harnesses so they can lean all the way out. That's what these are for. They're embedded in the concrete. So this is going to be our alligator room. It's going to be sprayed in concrete here real soon. And the alligator's in there just temporarily so we can make sure that he can move and thrash around. Let's go check out the snake room. Okay, now we're in our snake room. As you can see, we've sculpted these really incredible snakes. And what's going on here right now is this room's being hard coated. And we like to scatter these bones around, and we'll hard coat them right where they're at. Okay, and of course bodies actually go in these holes. And this is a really cool piece here. That's like the exit out of the room. This wasn't even a room last year. It was a storage room. And we added on, and we made this scene. And right here you can see kind of like a big giant hole. And there's going to be a big gigantic snake that comes flying through that wall. And then the T-Rex actually used to be here from Scare Factory. And now he's moved over there and he actually comes out of the waterfall room. Now let's go take a look at the elevator room. We're also doing a lot of cool stuff upstairs in the section that we did a ton of work to last year. I can't show you all the stuff because it's like little things. There's all kinds of like custom video effects that we're putting all through the place. We're redoing another room. We actually redid it and then made a new room. It was like a library. We're going to have a CGI effect in there. But the last thing I want to show you in here is another really cool room that we're working on. It's like a basement elevator room, and it's going to be a major project. It's actually half started, but we didn't finish it yet because we're going to use it as the inspiration for How to Detail Your Haunted House Part 2. But come on in, I'll just take you on a tour. It's really hard to explain right now, but this is going to be like a storage locker. And then one of the things that we like to do is really go out and get real pieces. There's going to be all these custom animations in here, like you see these, they're supposed to be girls in embalming fluid. And then in here we're basically building the elevator room. There's going to be all kinds of cool effects in here. That's a water tower, okay? This is going to be a boiler. This is going to be an elevator right here. And of course it's not done. And the really cool thing is when you come around this corner, and you can kind of sort of get an idea right now, is this is just like you know, if we were taking the wheels off the car. We got our elevator up on blocks, and this is going to be the elevator effect, and it's going to be a motion ride simulator type of deal. Where you actually come in, there's going to be a video effect. That's why you see an X down here. There's going to be a TV set in the floor, and when you get in here, the elevator will like move around, and then it's going to drop, but there's going to be a TV screen in the floor, so it looks like you fell further than you actually did. I'm going to show you one more thing, and then we'll give you another update here soon. Okay, another cool thing here at the Darkness this year, as you can see, this is kind of weird, but that's a waterfall screen system. And it makes a really, really fine mist of water. And you see this is like the reservoir where it goes, and you can see all the pumps and everything. And basically what happens here is this is where we had the impaler, which, you know, as you can see, we've now moved. What happens is basically a waterfall is here, and it's a very fine mist, and then we're having a custom CGI made of the Darkness character, of our logo, a custom CGI. And he'll be broadcast into the waterfall, basically warning you about how your impending death is soon, your soul belongs to him, whatever. But it's actually another illusion in the Darkness that no haunted house has ever done, but we're going to try it here at the Darkness for the 2011 Trans World Halloween Haunted House Show. And as you know, over here in TerraVisions, we're also doing a lot of renovations. One of the things we put in was all these really cool funny mirrors inside the queue line. And the coolest thing about the queue line is we bought this really cool multi-motion talking clown. And so we'll have a clown in here that tells jokes and stuff like that while you're in the queue line. So let's go take a quick look at some of the stuff in TerraVisions. Well, one of the things that we did at TerraVisions that we didn't have last year was we built a lot of the walls. Rather than being 8 foot, we built them to 12 foot. So it keeps the illusion intact a little bit more. This is actually a new scene that we did. Of course, you're not seeing any of this in black light. And as usual, we've painted the floors and so on and so forth. This is a clown, and he's actually blowing, flame-throwing a hole in another clown. And then we're doing this really cool room in here, which it's not done either. That clown, and I'm going to have Jim step in here and explain to you the cool thing we're going to be doing with that. There's Jim.
Hello.
Jim, explain the clown,
Well,
how that's going to work.
the clown is actually, this is kind of a new thing for 3D, is to actually have cutouts that are also motion. So there's going to be all these cutouts, like these X's and the knives, and it's actually going to look, the clown is actually going to look like he's juggling the knives because they're going to be twirling around and stuff after we get the motors and stuff installed on them.
And then explain the other thing that we're doing in TerraVisions this year is we're doing a lot of the figures, you know, kind of sort of off the back of the wall, like over here with the balloon thing. Explain that.
Well, we basically just kind of made all the different images pop off the walls by blocking them out or putting brackets to make them come out, and it just gives them a lot more three-dimensional look on it. And you can see we even added like real strings and stuff like that, so it kind of gives the illusion that it's a real real balloons when of course it's not. And
of course the clown is not physically on the wall, so it makes it just a whole nother level of 3D. And what's this going to be over here?
Well, this is going to be a really cool new effect. In fact, all of TerraVisions is every room has brand new effects and brand new animations in it. But this is a clown, and he hits the TNT switch, and then all the rooms, or all the crates in this room, are going to all flash, and basically the whole room's going to blow up while you're in it.
And then what do we got over here?
Well, this is a crazy thing. It's a big giant monstrous baby, and we're going to hinge all the arms and all the legs so the whole thing is moving. So it's an actual moving cutout as you walk by it.
That's going to be on that neat, very plain baked plank wall. But I'll tell you what, Jim, those clowns, or those balloons, I mean, that, you know, the thing is, and I have to say that there's other people out there that make claims that they can do a 3D haunt better, but the things that we're doing to innovate 3D, it really is incredible, because I've never seen anybody do anything like that, or what we're talking about doing with this baby, and basically making everything in the 3D move.
Right, and we're trying to add extra things like this guy right here. He's holding dynamite, but we're going to put real firecrackers, so electronic firecrackers behind him, so it sounds like, you know, he lit the dynamite on fire.
Sounds great. Is there anything else that we should look at in TerraVisions, or should they just come to the show?
They should definitely.
Another cool thing that we came up in TerraVisions is we came up with these torso clowns, like in our crate room, where we've built all these like half clowns, and they look like they're all coming out over the top of the walls at you. So like when you look up, you see clowns overhead of you. And there's another piece where we've had Scare Factory modify something they have, so we have like a clown like basically torturing a guy, and he'll bang his head up against the ground. Nothing scary. We just want it to seem like when the clowns are just torturing and killing everything in sight. Some of the other things that we've added to TerraVisions, we've added these really cool animations from Scare Factory. You can see these are like acrobatic clowns. And then we got this guy, so he can kind of, you know, wiggle back and forth. You know, we looked at some of the stuff from Scare Factory, and we said, you know, I guess that's built for this, but it could also be done for that. Like you probably remember this piece at the show last year. It was two skeletons, you know, pulling a girl's hair back and forth, and we had them change the clowns. So we wanted all the clowns in here to look like, you know, they're just torturing the hell out of people. And like I said, I mean, we've totally redone TerraVisions, all kinds of unique little things that, you know, we just thought of after the fact. Like we had this ice cream truck, we added a driver and a tortured, you know, kidnapped girl. Just another little thing that we added. Of course, these things don't look nearly as good as if it was totally in black light like I'm looking at it now with the light off. Anyway, let's take a look at some props downstairs. Now we're down in our glorious workshop. As you can see, it's very messy and embarrassing. And there's Jim over there. There's our new screwdriver compressor that we had to get. Here's one of the Alligators. This is made by Unit 70, and it is just absolutely awesome. And this is going to be going in the other Waterfall one. So he actually moves and he chomps up and down and his head goes all over and he goes back and forward. And here's some really cool impaled bodies that we had made that's going to be going in the haunted house. Hard to explain where, but they're also very, very cool. You know, what I showed you is really just the tip of the iceberg, because about half of the animations, the custom animations that we're either buying from another vendor or we're actually making ourselves, is not installed. All the video effects, all of the animations, we still have about another truckload of stuff that we have to go pick up or have delivered around the country, or things that we're going to build ourselves. Look, the bottom line is we are trying to make this the most interactive educational experience you've ever had. This is by far the most advanced we've ever done to the darkness. Plus we have a new secret animation that we can't show you because we haven't actually built it yet. But so go to thedarkness.com, www.thedarkness.com, for all the updates, to purchase your tickets. The other thing you can do is join my Facebook page. Just look me up, Larry Kirshner, you know, Halloween Productions, whatever, and you'll find me, and I've been uploading all kinds of progress pictures as we go. You can also log on to hauntworld.com. On the forums, there's a thread called Darkness and Lent Brewery Renovation, and I constantly give updates and stuff like that. We'll try to make another video as we get closer to the show. But so that's it for this segment of the renovations of the Darkness 2011. The next time we do a video, it should be really close to being completed.